It is Saturday night, and here I am working in my shop. I don't know, maybe a lot of you know what my shop looked like before, or the backer and all the stuff around my workbench looked like before, but so I've been spending the whole day basically cleaning up, organizing all that crap, and this is what we got. Got a lot of stuff organized. Got the bench, stripped down, everything cleaned up, organized. And in the meantime, I'm working on a motor, this Briggs FH motor, which, whatever. It needs some stuff. It needs, well, I'll tell you in a bit. Just hold on a second. Let's just back up. Just back right up. So I had this pegboard, not really a pegboard. It's just a board with nails in it with just shit hanging off it. And every time I'd move something or I'd bang something, I'd bang the counter, shit would fall down. And just a pain in the ass. So anyway, I couldn't take it anymore. I've been here for like 20 years. I can't deal with this anymore. This is horse shit. I should have a nice shop. Or not a nice shop, but a nice workbench anyway. So this is what we got. So over here in this workbench, I got a buddy of mine who's got a metal shop that has a really big brake, and I got a 1/4 inch, might be 3/8 even, steel overlay is going to come for this bench with a 8-inch rise on the back. The front to back is about 31 inch, and the front lip is 1.25 inches, and the width is 96, so 8-foot width, and that's going to go on top of that bench. I'm sick and tired of having shit, oil, gas pours down into my drawers, nails fall down, just small pieces fall down, just enough. It's enough already. So I got a piece of metal, or a piece of steel, not even stainless, just steel. I don't care if it rusts, I really don't care. Just steel, it's going to go on that bench. On the back is going to be pegboard and some shelves. Like I say, I'm sick and tired of stupid little nails holding crap up and shit falling on top of me. It's just enough, It's enough. Got my helmets and just some crap organized. Put some stuff away in boxes. Every time you move one thing, okay, well that just initiates getting another freaking bin and writing more crap on it and saying, okay, well, this goes with that. The freaking screws go with the nuts, and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So you move one thing, that's an hour. You do another thing, that's an hour. Everything's a freaking hour, right? Okay. Anyway, so that being said, good. So we got this. So we're just kind of bare bones right now. The vise is removed. Drill press removed. Everything's removed except for the grinder, which I'm kind of using the grinder while I'm going. So anyway, here we go. Back to this Briggs FH project. In this bucket are just parts. Parts. Carburetor, screws. What do they call this? Pawl. The Pawl gear. Intake tube, exhaust tube. The rocker arm assembly, stuff like that, things like that, little pieces basically, right? Little pieces. This motor was I've worked on a lot of stuff. I gotta tell you, this thing was the worst disaster inside that I've ever come across. Holy man. Think rust, chunks of metal, oil, water, all mixed up, and then fill the gas tank up, fill the crankcase up, and wow, what a freaking mess. I ended up, my floor is actually nice and clean now, but the floor was just a rusty mess because I had crap all over the place from this motor. It still isn't like spick and span, but I can deal with it now. Anyway, yeah. Bit wound up. Been all day doing this crap, right? So what I need is a drink and watch some YouTube videos, see what Road King's doing, see what you Dizzy's doing, see what Malcolm's doing. Malcolm's like struggling away there on that steamer, and Road King is working on, I don't know. Road King's working on that freaking radial. He's working on the Maytag upright. He's working on a whole bunch of stuff. Road King and I were talking this morning and last night about a couple different things, and I don't know. He doesn't think I'm competent enough to be doing this kind of work. That's okay. I'm just kidding. He's just ribbing me. I know. That's the way it goes, right? That's what your friends do, right? That's what your you got guy friends. If any of you got guy friends, you know that anytime you cut a guy down, that means you're just poking fun. You're just being a guy. That's all it is. But then when a woman sees like that a guy is poking fun at another guy, she thinks like, oh, that guy's an asshole. He freaking hates you. No, he doesn't hate you. He freaking likes you. Well, I think he likes me. Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, so what do we got? Let's get it on. Whew, no choice but to get it on. Okay. Gear. Let's go. So I went through this whole motor. I know the problems. I think I know the problems. Missing some teeth. They rusted, rotted off, whatever. I can get another gear, $10, no problem. Piece of cake. The governor flywheel, not really flywheel, whatever it is. No, what the hell? Let's say flywheel. That's all good. That shit's all good. Cover, that's all good. This guy, that plate with the lever action, just goes over there. That guy, that's all good. Clean that up, works great. The oil sump, I don't know yet. I think it's going to be okay. Initially, when I first looked in the crankcase, I thought that the oil sump was all gone. I thought it was all gone. I thought it was just I kind of moved my screwdriver down inside there, and I actually thought it went down inside the gas tank, but it didn't. It just went in the bottom of this thing, which is your oil sump, and this might be okay. It doesn't look great, but I'll tell you what, when I get it cleaned up, if I find any holes, I'll just epoxy the whole outside, and nothing's going to leak, and it's going to be just fine, and it'll work. So, got your actuator for your arm, so this goes over here. Like that. Got your arm actuator, which comes off your cam. Your cam, which operates this, and it operates your push rod up to your rocker arm and your exhaust valve. The intake valve is just atmospheric, so it doesn't matter. That guy. What else? Got a little brass guy with a check ball in it, and a spring. See that down there? Spring. So that's what it is. I'll investigate that later. No big deal. Fuel tank, that's going to be just fine. It's going to be the same deal. If there's a hole, pinhole, we will just epoxy it over. No problem. The kicker, that's all cool. I've got a spring that'll work on that from a recoil. It's not working bad now, as you can see. It's going pretty good. I had to take that spring. The end tang on that spring was bust off, rotted off, rusted off, whatever you want. Heated it, bent a new hook on it, and it's good. So that's all good. I think that's all good. It's good enough. It's dirty, but it's good enough. It's working. The main thing is, when you do these things, you got to go through, and then you got to say, okay, what's good, what's shit. If you got more shit than good, you say, fuck it, part it out, right? That's what you say. You don't say, fuck it, I'll drop $500 into this thing, and everything will be great. Well, it's not great, because you don't need to pour that kind of money on that kind of thing. You need a parts engine for like $100, and you can make it up. It's no big deal. We're not doing that. What do we do? Flywheel, magneto cover flywheel. This is good. Mike, don't know his last name. Small engine mechanic. That's the name he goes by on check him out. Maybe I'll put the link in the description. I don't know. I sent him emails. He doesn't get back to me, but that's Mike. You know, he's kind of a quiet guy, and just have to get a hold of. It's no big deal. Whatever. That's just his thing. Road King's buddy. Anyway, smart guy, super smart guy, but fuck it. Don't try to get a hold of him. No big thing though. I mean, he's a good guy, but anyway, smart guy. You learn lots of stuff off that guy. But he's got an FH just like this one. So what I did notice was, so here you got cast, you got, what is it, maybe magnesium, aluminum, not sure what that is. These two pieces are actually not the same. One's cast into the other. His was turning, this one's not turning yet, so good news, leave it the hell alone. Magnets, got lots of strength in them. I checked them, they're good. You can hang a screwdriver from them, so they're good. Good news. Let's move this over here. We looked at that, need new gear. Fine. This guy, piston, rod, cap, all this kind of stuff. Piston, perfect, no problem. 2 compression rings, no problem. Oil ring, the oil ring is what was seized in the cylinder for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm guessing that what happens is the moisture comes up and gets out, seizes that ring in the landing, and then yeah, there was just no way. I wanted to save that ring if at all possible, because you know, really, I don't want to spend $10 on freaking rings, right? Because I'm cheap. Couldn't save the ring. Need a new ring. Could I run it without the ring? Yeah, of course I could run it without the ring. It would smoke like a, you know, like a chain smoking hooker at a freaking bingo hall, as Road King would say. But I'm not going to do that. I'll get a ring for a couple bucks and just put a ring on there. It's all good. End cap, everything. You know what's amazing is, in spite of the shit that was inside this motor, just with the water and everything else, this whole setup right here, boom, this setup right here is perfect. It is actually perfect. It's like the motor didn't get a whole lot of use, and someone just said fuck it, and they put it away. And I'll tell you why they said fuck it. I just jumped on this when I saw it. You know, I shouldn't be moving over here, but I'll move over to the right. Boom, to the right. See that kill switch? Sorry, kill switch. Push the button, kills it, grounds the coil. There is a spot, a bare spot right there. See it there? Bare spot in that wire to the freaking case, and I will bet you freaking dollars for donuts that they couldn't get spark, and they just put the motor away and just said, the hell with it, we don't know what's wrong with it. And they stuck it away, and that was the end of it. Because like I say, on the crank, piston, connecting rod, big end, and the wrist pin, nothing, nowhere, like nothing, like brand new. Oh, amazing. So put that away. That's good. Good parts right there. Over here. Kind of gave you a little look the other day when I was unboxing. Oh, okay, where do we start? Let's go in here. Let's go inside. Everything's good. This little brass, they call it a bearing. I call it bushing. They call the bearing bushing, whatever the hell. To me, a bearing's got freaking balls or needle bearings or whatever. To me, that's a bushing, just a close fit bushing. I don't care what you call it. It's brass, nice and tight, no wear there. So that's all cool, no problem there. Those two arms there, one is for your push rod, and one is for your rod that actuates your oil pump. Those are all fine. I've done a lot of cleaning in here, believe it or not. It's still dirty, but I did a lot of freaking cleaning. And hey, look at this. I mean, check out my hands. This is not, you know, you can't go and say, hey, Madge, clean up my hands, you know. Dump them in the palm olive and, you know, let's go out in the town. No, you can't say that. Inside here, the bore, no problem with the bore, no bad marks in the bore. Anything that's in there, I can clean out real simple. This whole case and cylinder is good with one exception, and that is, yeah, there it is. There's that ugly bastard right there. Focusing. That bolt. If it only was a bolt and not a screw, I could get a socket on it or a wrench and I could probably turn it out. But you know, I mean, a flat screw, bolt, whatever, you can't get the damn things out. When they're even a little bit seized, they just turn and turn and turn. You can't get anything. So I'll tell you what's going to happen. There's your threads. That's where it's seized. It may be okay now because I have soaked and heated. But what's going to have to happen is I'm going to take a Dremel and I'm going to cut the top off of that bolt. I'll show you what it looks like. Let me just get over here into my bucket of parts. And this is what it looks like. That is what it looks like. It's got a shank, got the shank, and you got your threads. So I'm just going to take off the top of this nut just to the shank. I'm going to leave that shank. Once I get to that part, put that back. Once I get to that part, this head's going to come off, no problem, and I'm going to be left with a good amount of material to either weld something onto or heat and vice grip or whatever I got to do, but that freaking nut is going to come out. And you know what? If the nut don't come out, so what? What I'm going to do is just drill it out and I'll retap and it'll be just fine. Exhaust valve is free. The usual, can you see down there? It's moving. It's the usual. It's going to be the cleanup and the reseat of the valve. The intake is an atmospheric. Clean up the springs. Everything's good. Only one issue here. That's that bolt. And you know what? That's no issue. It's a slant fin, so it's desirable. So we're going to try to save it. And yeah, we'll take our time. We'll save it. Be no problem. Put that aside. That's all gravy. It's all good. Over here, here's where the problem was. Could not get this magneto ignition plate off the motor. Holy crap. Frustrating part about the whole thing. End up cracking the plate there, crack the plate there. You can see the crack. What I probably will do is remove all the ignition parts, see if I can aluma weld the whole plate. If I can't aluma weld the plate, I betcha I can find a plate that will work. You know, they are out there. You know, I think we're talking about 20, 30 bucks kind of a thing for a plate. I'll try to aluma weld it first. It's not load bearing, you know, but it's got to be, for sure this one here has to be in contact because you got your point set up. So if you got a point set up, then you got ignition, which means ignition is fairly precise. You know, you only got so much area to move around. What I don't know yet, and what I gotta find out, is if this coil is any freaking good. Good morning, guys. It's the morning after. It's got to be a morning after Maureen McGovern, I think it was. Yeah, oh god.
If we can hold on through the night, we
what a depressing song. I don't even know why I thought of that. Just not a very good song. It's not anything to get your motor going, let's put it that way. So I left off last night actually. It was getting pretty late and I was starving. I was pretty hungry. So I got some, I'm making some poached eggs right now. But while I'm making some poached eggs, I couldn't, in my frenzied cleaning activity yesterday, I have no idea where I put my jumper leads to test that coil in the fashion that I usually test it, which is to take a battery. I did find the battery. Isn't that awesome? To take a battery and simulate voltage into the primary, and then comes out the secondary. Generally what happens, it comes out the secondary, it generates a spark. If you got a spark tester, that's great. You set your spark gap to, you know, whatever, something small, 25 thou or whatever you got, or you can just use a spark plug, but then you need a few more wires. You need a jumper the ground strap back to the case. But anyway, I'm just going to show you one test, just because I can't figure where the heck I put my leads. I probably threw them in the garbage or just junk anyway, but maybe I should just make up some new leads with some alligator clips. But anyway, back to this. If you're wondering about the health of the primary windings and secondary and everything else, generally a good rule of thumb is your secondary windings are going to have a ohm resistance of, you got to be looking for at least 2,000 to 5,000 ohms in your secondary windings. The way you test that is you set your meter, take your meter. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a lot of glare from my fluorescent light above. You set your ohm meter. I have a couple ohm meters, but this one I really favor, just because it's really simple. I got a fluke meter. I got another digital one, but I like this one anyway. So that would be your audible for continuity. Anyway, set to ohms. So open loop because they're not touching, obviously. Excuse me. Just got the coffee on, so I'm gonna go have my coffee right away. Oops. There we go. And that should basically read infinite ohms if I touch the two. I'll show you, see if I can show you that and hold everything at the same time. Or maybe 0.2 or 0.1, something like that. There you go. 0.3. Guess my leads are dirty. That means basically you got a very solid connection. No breaks. Anyway, so I'm in the high voltage out. Gonna check it to ground. And we got a good solid connection. 7,000 ohms. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but you got 7,000 ohms. So that means this has a real good chance. It doesn't say anything about the primary, but the secondary at least has 7,000 ohms, which means there should be no problem with that. Again, we'll go back and test this because I was having some issue there. And there is still 0. Still open loop. Still nothing going on. If you went right to the strap, it would be 0.1 or something like that, or something infinite. But we are getting just nowhere here. Nothing. Not even a flash. So anyway, it's already uphill with the ignition. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go have my coffee. Anyway, have a good day, guys.